You can allow yourself to be distracted, or as Robin Sharma says, you can do incredible things, but you cannot do both. Right? You can live the character that you were yesterday, what you knew yourself to be, or you can rewrite the script and become someone new. But you cannot do both. Life is a game of trade-offs, right? All this comes down to understanding who you are and what your North Star is, right? You have to be able to know what lights you up, what's meaningful to you, so that you can pursue it. Otherwise, you will be, as Robin Sharma says, distracted. You will be doing those things that are, antithetical to what's best for you. And I look back and I can think of, very specific examples. I think of being in college, towards the end of the semester, senior year, or beginning of the semester, I forget when, but doing job interviews, and people ask details about my courses, about all these things, and papers I've written, and I could talk in circles. I could explain all that stuff. But then they say, and so who is Eddie Pinero? Tell me about you. And me falling flat on my face there, right? It's like, what do you mean, who am I? I'm the guy sitting right in front of you, right? There was no depth or understanding. I just knew I had to get a job because that's what people do. They get jobs, right? There was a lack of a North Star. Or an even simpler example, driving with my buddy a few years ago, we were doing this run across Texas and pulling up to the starting point. And he just casually goes, Eddie, what's your perfect day look like? And I said, I don't know, Tom. I've never thought about my perfect day, or what that would mean to me. And he goes, well, if you don't have a perfect day, if you don't have that top of the mountain to look up to, how are you ever going to have one, right? And he proceeds to tell me minute by minute, what his ideal dream day would look like. And, if anything, it's a frame of reference. It's a reminder about what's important to him. And that's what it comes down to, right? It's about having a North Star, as Emerson suggests, so that you can hitch your wagon to it. It becomes the driver. Now, does not knowing this make you a bad person or mean your life is a waste of time? Or absolutely not. But what it does do is relinquish what I believe is your greatest superpower, control. Control over your destiny. The ability to be the author of your own story. That is power. Knowing that when you wake up in the morning, you will get out of the day what you put into the day. I can't think of anything more gratifying than that. And so to not know is to sort of relinquish that gift to the ether, to hope, right? And hope can be a powerful thing, but it's not enough to run your life. Right? There has to be personal agency and accountability. And so all of this circles back to, have you had that conversation with yourself about what's important? It's that simple. What matters to you so that you can pursue it, so that you're not shooting targets in the dark, right? One, because life is too short and the arrows with which we shoot are finite, right? Each day is precious. And so what I've learned is to maximize that. You maximize when you can be deliberate, when you know you, when you understand you. There's a perfect dialogue in Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland that emphasizes this point. I want to share it with you real quick. Alice, would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? The Cheshire Cat. Well, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to. Alice, I don't much care where. The Cheshire Cat. Then it doesn't much matter which way you go. Alice, well, so long as I get somewhere. The Cheshire Cat. Oh, you're sure to do that, if only you walk long enough. I love that passage, and I love that passage because it demonstrates in such a clear, concise way that if you are not sure where you're going, then you will not arrive at a particular destination. You will let life pull the strings, right? You are a cog in a wheel. The power is in a world that is complex, that has infinite variables, to not be lost in all that nuance, but to carve out a little piece for yourself, your kingdom, where you can reign over, you can make the most of. That is, as they say, progress equals happiness. That is a pursuit. That is a journey worth taking. And that's what invigorates human beings. So I'm going to end on that note. Remember how much control you have in the things you are capable of. But they all start with first defining what matters. They start with being deliberate, so that when you inevitably make trade-offs, you're making the right trade-offs, right? You're doing things that help you be who you most want to be and live life on your terms. I do not think there's anything more powerful than that.